is, first off, the history shows that when psycholytic therapy, the European approach, has been developed in the 1960s, there was also a society, the European Psycholytic Society, EPT, and these guys were kind of putting together some standards, and they found that it is appropriate, and this was a requirement to become a member of this professional expert society, to have 5 self-experiences with LSD, which was favored at that time. So there was a kind of consensus and nobody was against it. In that sense, it was obvious that you need some experience with such a strange, sometimes harsh experience yourself. And you also, that is what I remember with my self-experience with Hans Karl Leuner, that I saw him in every kind of way, as a grandfather, as a chaplain, as a holy figure, as a devil, and stuff like that. So these kind of changes, these illusionary changes of other people, especially if it comes to transference and stuff, you really have to have an experience how impressive that is. And equally important is that you know how it is to be beyond your defense mechanisms. This is not a usual state you can experience in an everyday kind of state of consciousness. And so I think that's very important that the people know that. I also understand that the self-experience has been somewhat abused because there is a difference between what they have called in the past a controlled self-experience under paratherapeutic condition in comparison to, oh, I've taken that drug on a party or outside or wherever, you know. This is what they call the controlled self-experience under paratherapeutic conditions, so that you can experience the process and how a session goes and how it can go through difficult phases and stuff like that. It has been claimed that you might become non-objective about your work and stuff like that. That is true. Some people are so euphoric about their own psychedelic experiences that they bias their patient, they bias themselves about it. And it's such a fantastic thing and stuff like that. They are not really taking care about other aspects of the experience, which can be also traumatizing and have to be being made safe by some safety measures. And so therefore, controlled self-experiences in an appropriate therapeutically structured environment would be what I would favor. It is interesting that the Swiss people, a wonder to me, they didn't argue about it in any way that it is necessary to have self-experiences. Even the government was easy about it because they say, do you really want to go over that heavy mountain in the fall with a guide who has never done so? Is that really appropriate? And if this example is so evident to them that they don't question that, it has been claimed by people which want to make these treatments available on a cheaper, in a cheaper way, that these elaborate trainings are not necessary. You know, you can put a person there who is kind of empathetic and have a motherly attitude and gives you some water and takes care of you, and that might be enough. I don't think so. With Leuner, with the former psycholytic therapist, it was an arrangement that you had a few rooms with individual patients, having individual sitters, which were not professional psychotherapists, but you had a lead therapist. And so you can't do it without a therapist, I think. And my plaidoyer is uniformly that there was an international consensus all the time that that is a necessary component of an appropriate training.